Welcome back to the Frith Guild podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm co-host, Scott.
And today we start the World Serpent Arcanist books, starting with chapters 1 through 5. We are super excited to get onto this book. I know the last one was just such a roller coaster with Volke becoming a true form nightmare arcanist and all that. So we are super excited to get into these next 5 chapters. Just want to remind everybody about the Frith Chronicles Wiki link, along with the Capital Station Discord server link down in the description below. Also going to have the link to Shami's personal page to purchase these books, along with Amazon as well. Just that way, in case you haven't figured out how to get to these books, we'll give you some help. With that, we'll get into chapter 1, Attempting to Sleep.
Volke gets on. He is absolutely exhausted from his fight, his recovery. Luckily, Zaxxas was able to heal his major injuries, but still very, very depleted.
I mean, Volke's just like, I need to do a million different things. And it's like, okay, Volke, take 5 seconds, recover for a little bit. It's okay. You're not superhuman. We think you are, especially with being true form, but take 5 seconds. Kind of go through like an after action report with yourself to see what you could have done better, what went well. Obviously, most of it didn't. That list is very long. However, we can learn from things. So you just take a couple seconds and breathe.
Yeah, he is going a mile a minute trying to do everything and just needs to slow down. So he finally does get slowed down. He wakes up, finds out that he's been sleeping for 2 whole days. And is immediately worried about Adelgis, Fane, Karna, making sure that everyone's okay. Luckily, Luther doesn't sleep, so he's just been spending his days hanging out with him, which I think is awesome.
I wonder if he's got his like cloak pulled over him like the Cape Crusader for a little bit. Just glaring.
I'm here.
And with this, the chapter 1's pretty quick and short here. So in chapter 2, Journeyman Arcanist, we have Volke being very happy to be back on the Sun Chaser along with all of the crew, and this is kind of like a shock to him because most of the people didn't like him when he left. For the most time that he was on the Sun Chaser, obviously when he left, things were different, but imagine Volke is still kind of shocked at everybody actually reacting to him nicely. Volke is up on the quarterdeck and going to talk to Master Zelfrey, but he does end up overhearing a conversation between him and Captain Devlin, or Master Zelfrey and Captain Devlin. And Master Zelfrey is trying to convince Captain Devlin to join the Frith Guild and have the rest of his crew to come with as well. I think it wouldn't be just a straight absorption of the Sun Chaser, but I feel like there'd be some strong affiliations with the guild and the Sun Chaser. Now, Devlin does argue that most of the people that he has on his crew would not fit in a very strict hierarchy, but let's be honest here. We're acting like anyone under Master Zelfrey is in a strict hierarchy. So they just do what they want.
Nobody listens to him. He complains about this. Said, Volke, you're the one that was supposed to listen, and you don't listen. So
literally all of the time.
The barrier is so low.
So again, it's not like Captain Devlin would really have any problems with it. Now, Zelfrey does start to sing Volke's praises, and thankfully, Volke is not like Zaxxas in the sense that this isn't going to go straight to Volke's head, and he would not be able to fit through the lightning straits. And I would imagine that if Zelfrey were to have said this to Zaxxas, they would have gotten stuck in the lightning straits because of how big Zaxxas' head would have been. We learn that Guildmaster Eventide is actually right now currently in the search for some psychics on Sybil Isle, trying to find out who is going to bond with the World Serpent or try to get at least an idea. And this is kind of, it's scary in one sense and positive in another. One part of it is scary because what if the psychics do say, oh, well, the Autarch is going to bond with the World Serpent? At that point, it's kind of like put your hands up and say, what's the point? Obviously, they wouldn't, but
I found this whole scene really funny because Eventide is essentially going to a psychic and saying, hey, we have this snake. I want to know who it's going to marry.
I never thought about it like that.
That's essentially what she's doing. She's going to a psychic to find out who's going to get married to it.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my gosh. That is definitely one way to put it. In all reality, the guild needs to ally themselves with whomever is supposed to bond with the Sneck. Obviously, we don't want to see the Second Ascension. So whoever it is that hopefully is not the Second Ascension is going to bond with it, or destined to bond with the World Serpent. That the guild can actually like, hey, you want to come help the good guys, please? So that conversation is concluded, and Zelfrey does give a chance to pat Volk on the back some more and give him his Journeyman Arcanist pendant, which is copper instead of bronze.
Don't throw it away.
Yeah, don't throw it away this time, Volk, okay? Because you just got lucky with that one. So Volk immediately is like, well, aren't I supposed to pass a test before I get this? And Zelfrey's like, well, yeah, but you kind of ran off, so you also cured yourself of the plague, and you gained a true form. Let's just consider that test passed. So we are actually getting to the straits. Everything is all clear now. And we're going through the lightning straits, and I really wonder if Zelfrey told anybody not to touch the surge stones, or like could have like tried to convince somebody to. I would have been I bet you won't touch that.
I just picture him like sitting, like watching him, be like, do it, touch it.
Come on.
He's gonna touch it.
Like, I wonder. He probably made bets. He made bets with Captain Devlin.
Oh, they sure did.
To see who would touch it.
That does bring us to chapter 3, Together Again. So Zaxxas has acquired fireproof armor.
Probably a good thing, since he's going to save himself a lot of money from having to replace all of the clothes.
Agreed. And I know it's described, it's salamander armor, it's scales and whatnot, but I just picture him getting like a red tunic and like putting it on.
Like Ocarina of Time, straight up, just...
Legend of Zelda. Like, oh, I'm fireproof now. I got a red tunic.
The Gorons don't know who Hylians are, nor do they know what your children are, but somehow they magically make a fireproof Hylian-sized tunic for him.
Perfect. The rest of the crew is in this giant hold training together, and the first one to actually notice Volk coming is Adelgis, likely because he can hear his thoughts, and it's like, oh, a new voice entered the room.
And I just think of the saloon or whatever it is. They're playing some really lively music, and that one person walks in and everybody stops. The piano stops, or the accordion screeches. Like everybody just like looks over. And, oh my gosh!
And they all run over. They're excited that he's awake and excited to see him, and probably most excited to figure out how he got his true form. And his response is, "I don't really know." I kind of thought I was going to die, but like I wanted to stop the plague, and then I got true form and killed everyone.
Yeah, no big deal. I feel like somebody was like, so what you're saying is I need to go fight Second Ascension directly.
That's what I took away from it.
Like, for the love of God, you have an Earl King. That's not how that works. Chapter 4, Betrothed. Volk and Ilya, and don't get any ideas real quick with the title of the chapter and who we're talking to. First off, Volk and Ilya are not getting betrothed. They are talking, though, about how Volk got kind of emotional when he thought he was dying, and I don't blame him on that at all.
You get that right when you're on your deathbed.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say what I want to say at that point. Now, Nicolin, I love the return of Nicolin as a character, because Nicolin wants to be praised for suggesting that Volk goes into the swamp to go find the swamp monster in the Endless Mire originally. And that is essentially why Volk obtained a true form nightmare. Only Nicolin. Actually, I take that back. Nicolin and Zaxxas. Those are the two that I would totally expect to be able to draw a conclusion to that.
Yes, it very much feels like that last place team that like beats one team and they're like, well, we beat them and they beat them, so we beat the first place team.
Essentially, we are the best. Volk feels the I told you so moment about to come up, and Ilya very quickly says, "I'm not going to do that." And the "I told you so" moment was Volk getting upset with Ilya when she decided that she's going to kill Callisto and just take off from the middle of the nowhere, just take off in the middle of the night and chase after a dread pirate. And then Volk here does the same thing when he gets to play. He's like, yeet to my guild pendant. Bye, Felicia. She thankfully doesn't actually do the whole "I told you so" thing. She lets him have it. She lets him beat himself up. But
I wanted her to.
It was one of those like, oh, I kind of wish she did, just to rub it in his face. And Volk would have just taken it. Like, he would have been like, yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Volk is very hungry after sleeping 2 days and not really having much to eat at all. So he goes down to the galley. He actually gets 2 rations of food instead of the sawdust jerky and the absolute stupid rock hard biscuits that they were getting before they find out that Volk saved Bayou in New Nora. So he's actually, not only is he able to get edible food, but he's also able to get seconds of said edible food. He ventures up to go eat in his own cabin, and Eviana happens to be there, and she's pretty much the only person we haven't seen since he's gotten back on the ship and since we've started this book. And I just love how she's just like, "Oh, you're going to help me train because you're a Nightmare Arcanist. And obviously, since you're a true form Nightmare Arcanist, I can learn so much more from you." And I've already talked to Master Zelfrey, and he says that it's okay. So I wonder if Master Zelfrey was like, "Let me promote him real quick to Journeyman so that way he can train her." So
that's exactly where I went with it, too. He was like, if Volk's training her, then I'm not.
Right, and I bet that Zelfrey would have enjoyed the whole bossing her around since she was a princess from the Argo Empire and realistically has absolutely zero meaning at this point. But I imagine he probably would have enjoyed it. But in just the constant whining, we know how much he loves whining. We find out that Eviana is 4 months away from becoming an adult arcanist or adult in their society, which was the age of 15. And we know that she is 14 years old, soon to be 15. And we learn that Volk is 17, and that because she is a princess and that Volk has dithered around for too long, that she has chosen a partner, and that is that. And they are now betrothed. She has bestowed her betrothal on him.
This is just one of the funniest moments in the series. I feel so bad for Volk trying to piece together how he got into this situation, but it is hilarious.
And his jaw's just on the floor, and I don't remember what it was that he said specifically towards her, but she says, "I can't believe you. My betrothed would do that to me." This is not gonna be it's not gonna go away.
No, this is not a fling.
Love Luther so much. So she leaves, and Volk is sitting there trying to figure out what the hell just happened, and finally was like, "Hey, Luther, what kind of advice could you give me about this situation?" And in true Luther fashion, says that only Volk would have been able to get into this position, and that Mathis would never have gotten himself in a predicament in the first place. So not only would he have not fought a Dread Pirate Arcanist as a year, if that, being second bonded, he would have been stupid enough to get into that position. Now he managed to get himself betrothed.
And I just know Luther is just laughing at him, being like, "This is your problem, dude. I'm not helping you with this one."
He's sitting in the void just going
That does bring us to chapter 5, Thunderbirds. So Volk is on the deck of the ship, and he's practicing using his shadows as tools. So thinking, if I have a small shadow, I can essentially make a lockpick, and trying to really explore the extent of his powers.
Luther does kind of remind Volk that just because he became a true form, things will be easier, but they will not be easy. And it actually took me a couple minutes to understand what they're trying to say, what Shami was trying to say with that. This is a very good way to explain that and remind us that just because he is a true form doesn't mean he's going to snap his fingers and it's going to be done. You know, everything's going to happen for him.
Yeah, there's still years of experience to add on to just a higher starting block.
Yeah,
when it comes down to it. So Adelgis did hear that he had stopped training and came to talk to Volk. He likes talking to Volk, mostly because Volk has the most upbeat thoughts of anyone else on the ship, which I totally believe. He does also mention that Addie is curious about his true form and that, you know, maybe they should talk to each other a little.
Ooh.
Adelgis playing matchmaker. I like it. So Addie comes up to the deck. They're going to do some sparring. Volk is insanely nervous to try and talk to her just in any manner at all.
And Volk's not even practicing. He's trying to think of what to say.
I know. And it bothers me so much that he's betrothed and he would act like this.
How dare him? What would Aviana say?
She better not find out.
Ooh.
She'll slap someone.
I was surprised that didn't happen in the next set of chapters, honestly.
I did think she was going to go after Addie at some point.
Just teasing, but yeah, next set of chapters. Oof. I'm surprised Aviana didn't fly off the handle.
As part of their conversation, his genius pickup line is to call Titania the most beautiful Eldrin.
I'm happy that Addie picked this up, that he was talking about Addie, but he's just so coy and it's just so cute, the two of them.
I know. Little lovebirds. He is suddenly able to feel the heartbeat of the plague nearby. Addie ditches her belt, so one of the things that they know is that the Thunderbirds in this area are often plague-ridden, and Thunderbirds are able to use electricity on anything that's metal, so trying to get rid of any metal on their body so they're not impacted by their aura. I also did think it was funny that Addie's kind of stripping for him.
Ow!
But unfortunately, not for a good reason. So I'm pushing it for safety. Sad face for Volk, but we digress.
Well, I mean, he did have to put Retribution away. He was actually really kind of upset about that, which I don't blame him, but...
I don't either. I feel for him. He's so close all the time and just no luck.
And with that, we end our first 5 chapters of World Serpent Arcanist. This is... The first few chapters are always pretty quick for us to get through, but like Shami's other books in the Chronicles series, it tends to start snowballing pretty fast and gets moving. So just stick around with us. We are so excited to get into World Serpent Arcanist. We finally get to see the big snake.
Snake a snake. I'm a snake. We find out who it marries, too.
I wonder if the psychics will be at the wedding.
They better be. They said
What if the psychic officiates?
The psychic essentially just swiped right for him, you know? I like this future. We'll go with this one.
I wonder what their statue's going to be.
Ooh, that's a good question.
They make 3 statues. I mean, wonder what the statue's going to be. It could be their cake topper.
That'd be so amazing.
All right. Once we get more... All right. So as soon as we get the bestiary released and we can start adding information from the bestiary into the podcast, we will certainly do that. But again, we are waiting for everything to be released to the Kickstarters first, and then we'll start discussing the episodes of the bestiary itself. But once we do, we will get through all of that stuff. The description down below will have the links to the books and everything. Again, we do not get any kind of commission or money off of you guys going to listen to these books, either the audiobook or the ebook, or if you want to purchase the book from Shami herself. This is something that is purely just, we love these books so much. If you happen to buy the book from Shami, I don't know, Scott, if you have your box available, you will get your book shipped in one of these really, really nice boxes that Shami has. And I don't know why I'm so in love with these boxes, but damn it, it's a nice box. It does actually have the quotes or the steps of the pillar on them. Literally like every direction you could think to look up and on the bottom. So
it's on the bottom too.
Is it on the bottom too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just got to cover my address for all those. But there are. Yeah, it's on the bottom as well.
People can stalk you. And the inside, like, it is intense.
It's everywhere. So, it's amazing.
So again, if you want to go over to her story itself, you can go there as well. And with that, we will catch you guys next week in chapters 6 through 10 of World Serpent Arcanist.
Eric, Scott, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. We post a new episode every Wednesday morning at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific Standard Time. We are on all podcasting platforms and are also on YouTube as well for video. After the additional episode airs, we post chapter-by-chapter videos every day in a smaller, easier-to-digest format. We do want to give a special shout-out to the final member of our team, Dan Mackison, one of the admins for the Frith Chronicles Wiki, link listed below, and doing his best to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. If you want to reach out to us, you can email us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media by searching for Frith Guild Podcast. Just to remind everybody, we have links to everything in the description below on both the podcast and YouTube.
Thank you.